Hello everyone, Brian LeMaster here with Innovative Tactical Concepts. What I want to do right now is talk about church security or church safety teams. What should they be? I'm not going to spend a lot of time on this. I'm just going to give you a general idea if you're not real sure on what a church security team should be. And again, this isn't everything that you need to know, but what they should be. Okay, they should be a dedicated group of individuals that are going to serve on a regular basis. Basically every time the church doors are open, especially when there are children there and or women there. Okay, so funerals, so on and so forth, weddings, things like that. You need to have a security team at your facility. This group of people should be willing to give their lives if necessary so that others may live. Okay, this is a mindset that a lot of people don't have, and you should be able to take the life of a human being if that's what is required. Okay, it's not easy to swallow, but that's what it is. Now, your team should be properly trained, okay? And by that I mean they need to have training specific to church security training. If they're going to be armed, then they need to have basic gun safety courses and advanced courses, okay? So properly trained means a lot of things. And we offer a variety of training venues, so be sure to check out our website. Your team should be professional and they should be respected. If all you guys do is stand around and talk, most people probably aren't going to respect you. It takes a special kind of person to be on the church security team. Okay, it's not meant for everybody. Just like preaching is not for everybody. Not everybody's called to do that. Not everybody is called to be a church security or safety team member. A lot of people think it's cool, and they want to be a part of that. That is not a good thing. Okay, you want to find people who are going to commit to the cause, and they are going to dedicate themselves to training on a regular basis, and the mindset of, if need be, I will place myself in harm's way in order to take the life of another human being. So not only should you have initial training, you should also be willing to train on a regular basis. Okay, basically your team is there to protect everyone from danger. Okay. Now your team can also serve as responders to medical emergencies, to natural disasters, things like that. So again, your team is there to protect. That is your primary function. Okay. Now, what a team is not, and I think it's really important to understand this. Now, everybody's situation is going to be a little bit different, but this is generally speaking, this is the ideal situation, okay? A team is not gophers, they're not errand boys or anything like that. They are there to protect, okay? They shouldn't be running errands like going and getting this, going and getting that. Their job is to protect, because if you're not protecting, then what's the point of having the ministry? They're not ushers, okay? Now, I understand that your church may be small, where the ushers and security, they really have to do they have to cross over, they have to wear different hats. But that is not the ideal situation, okay? It's much easier to find a choir member or an usher or something like that than it is to find people who are qualified and willing to dedicate themselves to the church security or safety team ministry, okay? So I'm not saying that that you shouldn't have the ushers as security people. I'm just saying it's ideal, okay? They're not ushers, they're not errand boys, so on and so forth. I hope that makes sense to you. The ideal situation is to have a dedicated team to protect, all right? Now, this is just something that comes up in discussion every time I talk to somebody about church security training and so on and so forth. They are not just a bunch of people, guys, gals, running around with guns, okay? If that's the case, then, you're asking for trouble. So they need to be trained, okay? If your team is not trained and they're armed, then you're a liability, in my opinion, okay? You are not law enforcement. You do not have the powers of law enforcement. Now the thing is that yes, you may have to do things, make life altering decisions on the spur of the moment. Okay, that's not what I'm saying. But just understand, you are not law enforcement. Okay. Now, you are either an asset or a liability. You have to know where you stand. If you don't know if you're an asset or a liability, odds are you're a liability. All right? So think about it. Is your team a blessing or are they a burden? All right? Now I want to talk about quality versus quantity. All right? I would rather have a team of 6 that I can depend on and trust my life with than to have a team of 12 and 6 of those people I'm not real sure about, or they don't take it seriously, or whatever it may be. Okay? So it's quality versus quantity. This is not a glorified ministry. If you're in it to get recognition or you think it's cool or whatever, you're in it for the wrong reasons, get out. All right? This is a very demanding ministry. All right? As far as time goes, it's going to be very demanding. Let's put it this way. I spend about 10 hours a week at church, okay? On average, or maybe more, maybe less, depending upon the situation. So that's a lot of time at church, okay? I get here an hour before church, at least an hour before church. I stay an hour afterwards. And so that can add up very quickly, all right? Now, again, you know, it's very demanding of your time. You're going to make sacrifices and very possibly making sacrifices with your family time, so on and so forth. But it is a needed ministry. So, you know, this is a very demanding ministry. It may very well demand your life at some point in time. So do not think that for a second this is just a ministry where you can show up, you know, and open doors and things like that. That's another thing too. Since I said it is, we're not greeters, okay? Your job is to scan people, it's to be aware, it's not necessarily to greet people. You're better off to stand away from the crowd and avoid contact if at all possible, scanning people up and down. A lot of people think that, I'm unsociable or whatever. Obviously, they don't know me. I take the job very seriously. I take this ministry very seriously. I will stand off to where most people won't approach me. I've been called unsociable or whatever. That means I'm doing my job. Okay, I'm not there to socialize is what I'm getting at, and neither are you. So, look like you mean business when you're on duty. So basically that's it in a nutshell, okay? So if you have any training needs, whether you're trying to get a team up and running, or maybe you had a team in place for a while, maybe you're looking for some training, whether it's initial training or intermediate training or advanced training, what have you, be sure to contact us, and the website's on your screen, and of course it'll be on your trailer as well. So again, this is just a little bit about what a church security team should and shouldn't be. And again, this is the ideal situation, okay, what they should be and what they shouldn't be. But the bottom line is that you're going to have to make things work in your situation. So you might have to be an usher / security person, okay? I'm not saying don't do it. I'm saying the ideal situation is that you're not an usher, that you're not a gopher or errand boy, etc., okay? Okay, having said all that, again, serve Jesus with all your heart and take this ministry very seriously, because lives are on the line. So may God give you the abilities to keep your people safe. May He watch over you and bless your team immensely.